Right, welcome back. Last time we continued that war that the Ottomans started. First piecing out Milan and then Hungary, which there's a lot of territory changed. Some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. But now we're at the final part of the war, which is just against Genoa. Of course, the Ottomans are not going to siege down the capital despite it being the war goal. I tried sieging down the capital, but you need 20,000 troops. I only have 16,000 on the field. I don't plan on getting any more anytime soon. I think they also have an interest in taking the northern half of Corsica. Don't ask me why. Because they're sieging it down. Yeah. I also learned something oddly specific. You can't actually declare a war against a member of the HRE if you're allied with the Emperor in a war. And since Bohemia is fighting on the same side as me, I can't actually do anything here. So I'm waiting for the war to end before I go up against Magdeburg, despite the fact that the truce has already ended. Yeah. Fun. It's gonna be a while before that gets over with, so... So apparently we managed to earn 7 points by now. Huh. Oh, finally! Yeah, they wanted a full annexation of... Oh, except for that. Okay. $15 favors. Okay, I can use that for a war and a half. So there's 4 wars I can track the Ottoman Empire into. Excellent. But before we do anything else, it is time to handle Magdeburg now that I don't have to deal with that anymore. Apparently they broke their alliance with the Commonwealth. Ah, the Commonwealth declared war and they wanted nothing to do with it. I wonder why. Let's see. It's probably just the Ottomans. Not the Ottomans. The Mongols. They're not quite dead yet. They still have 60k troops. Okay, they're dying, but they're still kind of terrifying over here. Anyway, I probably should check first to see if there's any fortifications here. Nothing super serious, but there's still 3 fort levels. Because rank 7 garrisons. Yikes. I have no diplomats, son. Oh. I probably should stop drilling troops so that I can get some morale before actually marching in. Might cause problems if I don't do that. I can imagine a battle going poorly due to lack of morale. Oh well. No one's particularly interested, in, to be honest. I don't really need to call anyone in other than maybe Hesse. But they might be going for some of this land, so... Yeah, it'd probably be best if I didn't call them in. That's straight. On my own. Also here can be easily handled. No troubles whatsoever. Oh look, it's getting in. Also how we potted blown. With Hoya and perhaps something to handle later. A straight fight against just Bohemia. Oh, and Göttingen, but Göttingen's kind of just there. The 3K troops, not really a threat. Claim. I don't need that spy network for a long, long while though. So just drop it. Continue working on Bohemia's spy network again. Oh, and right, I've got the money now for that. 1,009 ducats. Thank you, Magdeburg. I truly appreciate the donation. As well as the most impressive city in the region. Subcontinent, actually. Though I am going to have to take the time to upgrade that amenities. That way it can still keep growing. And rapidly. This should be a good point to stop for now. So, I went ahead and conquered 2 provinces off of Magdeburg, now that that war with Genoa is finally over. The Ottomans actually took every one of Genoa's provinces. Except for the northern half of Corsica, so... that's all they have left. Yeah, enjoy being eaten by Spain at some point or another. Because that's probably what's going to end up happening. So yeah, these 2 provinces of Magdeburg, they're about to be cored, and honestly... my unrest reduction is so high in this area that it doesn't really matter whether or not I've got troops sitting here. They're just a convenient position for me to drill while I get them to maximum drill. In preparation for a war that I plan on doing soon. Probably going to go up against Göttingen because it's just a war against Bohemia. It's going to be a while before the Ottomans are willing to go to war, though. Oh, and France broke their alliance with me, sadly. Probably because they went ahead and decided to ally Florence and... wait a sec. They're the junior partner of Spain. They're the junior partner of Spain. Oh, joy. So, the Commonwealth are now a personal union of Spain. Well, that explains why they're no longer allied to anyone. Independence supported by France and Florence. Yeah. They're not particularly strong, but... I was hoping to get France to fight Bohemia for me, but... because I can't actually... they're strong enough for it to be difficult for me to fight them. They are 5 tech levels behind, though, but... that's still 2.5 military tactics. Okay, the morale probably isn't that important, but... I've got far more powerful cannons than they do. Far more powerful cannons. It's really a question of, is it worth it? Do I think I can take them on? Because with Bohemia, well, with the Ottomans, if I wait a year, they'll definitely no longer have that much war exhaustion. I mean, war exhaustion isn't really an issue for me. I do get minus 0.03 per month, even accepting peace. So, yeah. I could work towards reducing the power of the clergy. The thing is, they're not that important. But reducing the gravity would be nice. Because it would mean yet another thing out of the way in my quest to lower autonomy. Something to look into later, perhaps. At the very least, let's not do this right before I plan on taking tech because it boosts power costs, yeah. Well, it will probably boost power cost. Among other things, it's also going to make the clergy loyalty drop like a rock. That -5 probably means about 50, 40, 50 loyalty. After that, taxpayers probably. Turn them into fully taxed. As a faction. Should help. At least their power's going down slightly, but... I mean, removing their subordinate into full secularization would lower it to by 15, the resting point. Of course, it will also increase their wealth modifier from 1.4 times to 1.9 times, which is probably bad. Probably. Oh well. I also went ahead and finally worked on, well, collected the money to start working on this. Progress towards capital level 3. Yes. Soon. Oh, Magdeburg also has a rank of capital, which does help slightly with communications, but I don't really find it that important. Also managed to get another merchant because trade center, well, I was getting another merchant, but it's gone now. Great. Yeah, I guess because it downgraded from major to just important as a center of trade. It is a major center of trade, right? Yeah, major. Okay. There is dominant though, right? Yeah. Jeez. Provence really does have dominant centers of trade. I could do the Mecklenburg mission to get 50 mill points, but I don't need mill points. I mean, the 15... guess I might take it after I get the 50 prestige for this. I think I've also gotten to an equivalent amount for manpower. A resting point, per se. So 58,000 troops seems to be the amount I get with 2 manpower taxation. Seems to be. It's not necessarily the case, but... and it might shift depending on... well... circumstances, but it seems I do get that amount. If I were to lower it by 1, I would expect to lose at least a third of that, down to 40,000. And that might be a bit too low, so I think I'm going to stick with 2 manpower taxation for the time being. After that, well, I'm probably going to end up going to war against Göttingen sooner rather than later. Especially since, well, their only ally that was willing to help is MEIOU, I mean, Paderborn. 100 ducats in debt for a 1 province minor? Yeah. Actually, be willing to take vassalization from me. So, yeah. Something to look into in the future. But we're approaching the point where nationalism is starting to have, well, as I said, nationalism is starting to have its effect on tech growth. And soon I will be unlocking the tech that allows me to start tapping into its invention, though it has not gotten started anywhere. Requires casual literacy, and then either the year 1740, or Admin Tech 52 and control is 75% of your culture groups directly or in a non-tributary subjects. Well, 75% of your culture group's population. This is the map of the culture group. And compare that to the map of my country. However, that's not a map of population, that's a map of provinces. I'd say I own about somewhere between half and 2/3 of the provinces. I do plan on starting to expand down into here, though. All of Göttingen's provinces are, well, either East Elbian or East Phalian, so, yeah. And then Hoya itself is going to have provinces that I'm going to go for. Specifically because they're allied with Saxony, so I can go ahead and wreck their alliances. They had an alliance with Spain, but they're still allied with Hungary. And Hungary is still very threatening. Especially since they have even more ideas than Bohemia has. Bohemia sitting here not having finished trade or empire ideas, whereas Hungary has almost finished agrarian ideas. Which is, yeah, it's kind of scary. I do have 77 ideas though. Yeah. Bohemia is threatening. Hungary may have fewer troops, but they're even more threatening unless they're having trouble with the war, which they're not having enough trouble yet. Not yet. On the other hand, Saxony is allied with Bohemia as well, so really the question is, how much trouble am I willing to go through for this? I could also try to vassalize them, though. I could. That seems like a lot of effort. On the other hand, I could do the same with Hoya. Would at least help with dealing with certain things. Saxony, on the other hand, is just a no. Too big, an elector. Yeah. But Göttingen and Hoya, those are possibilities. As well as these down here. Well, except for Ravensburg, apparently. No. It was Bentheim I was looking at. They're all really small, and don't have any friends, or at least not enough of a friend. So maybe I should do that. Oh well. Something to look into in the near future. Perhaps it would actually be easier. Certainly generate less of Christmas and expansion, whatnot. Anyway, I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye. So used to going to war for these things, I forgot that I could do this diplomatically if I really wanted to. I've got diplo points to burn, so not really that much of a problem, is it?